Jesus' immediate family began in a way which is far different than I, or virtually anyone else, would ever have imagined. The beginnings of Jesus' family is a topic so vast that it can fill our prayer life for a time beyond measure. It truly is a joy to be able to reflect in prayer about how our Savior came into this world. It is equally as astounding to think of the simple, humble means the Lord has chosen to come into our lives. Well, in the next few moments, I'll reflect on the family which I belong to. I will look at my family as well as Christ's family as well. When our immediate families change, we all experience something similar. Well, many of us have become familiar with mom taking a trip to the hospital, a new family member arrive, and a little while after that, mom and the newest brother or sister are back home with us. Well, I'll never forget the moments surrounding my younger sister's birth, an event which happened many years ago. Those moments are not all that different from the usual moments of the birth of a new child, except for one key moment: how those of us at home had to change and prepare. Well, mom being sent away meant somebody different was in the kitchen at our home. And when Louise became a part of our family, mom went away for a couple of days. Dad looked after the kitchen. I know there were many other moments that Dad looked after the cooking, but I can't recall any of those. Just the one moment of Louise's birth stays fresh in my mind. As Louise came to join our family, I'll always associate her birth with macaroni and cheese. Maybe that was the easiest thing to cook at the time. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just the beginning step in my love for pasta of all sorts. Maybe it was simply another ordinary moment in my life, and in a parallel fashion, Christ chose a similar type of ordinary moment to enter our world. Well, the gospel narratives from St. Luke and St. Matthew certainly tell the story of the birth of our Savior in a way which is very different from what I just described. Well, the gospel stories tell a moment which is very different from macaroni and cheese. They tell a story which is beyond the ordinary, yet very much a part of the world in which we live. The most recent addition to the whole childbirth process is the immediacy in which we outsiders are invited in. Not that long ago, one of my cousins was able to share in the joy of bringing new life into our world. And it wasn't more than a few moments afterwards that I was able to witness great joy and great satisfaction on my cousin's face as she held her beautiful baby girl. Video cameras, digital pictures, and computers bring us right to mom's side when a new family member arrives. Whenever I dream about family, in particular my own family, I have no image of stables or other familiar attributes from Jesus' birth story. There are no wise men from the east asking about the king of the Jews, and always remembering that I am no great astronomer. I'm pretty convinced that no extraordinary star came out on the day of my birth. But when I came into this world, it was in the usual way, not worthy of being retold over the years, certainly not 200 years, yet alone 2,000 years from now. When Jesus came into the world, a story began that could not be limited by simply being told over 2,000 years. One simple thing which I feel pretty comfortable in saying, as I look at the history of how my own family grew, is that even if stables or other familiar accessories were absent, God was most certainly present in the miracle of birth. My older brother Kevin came into our family in 1966, and in March of 1968, our family unit grew once again as I was born. The growth did not stop there, as 4 years after I was born, my younger brother Kenny came around, And 4 years following Kenny's birth, another miracle came into our home as my younger sister Louise was born. Well, I've already talked a little bit about Louise's birth, and I could go on about that event forever. Louise continues to add to our family numbers, and for that we all rejoice. Well, as my parents finished their own act of creation with 4 children, my sister married a wonderful young man, and the two of them have brought 2 nephews into my life. Ian Hennessy came into this world a few years ago, and that young boy has seen his own immediate family grow as my second nephew. His brother Jason was born a few short years after that, and they both graced our lives. I cannot possibly look at these 2 little boys without fully appreciating the miracle of God's presence in our family history. Our Christian mother, Mary, did not have the easiest circumstances surrounding her act of giving birth, yet through her great blessing, every mother and child are afforded an opportunity to share in God's protection and consolation. As 21st century believers, and as believers have done over the past millennia, we are invited to gaze upon the icon of our Mother of Perpetual Help and see the child Jesus take comfort in the arms of his mother. Each family, especially my own family, allows every child the opportunity to flee into their mother's arms. In the icon of Our Lady of Perpetual Help, the Christ child flees to his mother upon seeing the prediction of his death. It must have been terrifying beyond belief to see the tools that are part of the most horrific death story which has ever been told. A story which we get to hear every year on Good Friday. Well, as a child, the protecting arms of Mom can save us from any unknown. They can save us from bad dreams, nightmares of the boogeyman, or any of the other things that are part of every child's life. They are part of what every child learns as they drift off to sleep with the lights off, trusting that all shall be well come morning. Knowing that all shall be well is a lesson every mom needs to pass on to their little ones. Warm hugs and countless kisses let every child know that Mom's protection is always available. Jesus was able to seek out the protection of his mom, our Mother Mary, and so we can follow that example as we live our own lives. Moms are a great source of help. Jesus' mother is our source of perpetual help. It is the safety of our family that we learn our source of help. Christ told us that his mom is our Mother of Perpetual Help, and so we can always turn to her and seek out her protection.